This episode of the Brilliance plus Passion podcast is brought to you by Groundhog Day is an event, not a business strategy. Are you ready to finally solve those pesky issues that keep holding back your business success and never seem to go away? Embrace the power of the S.P.R.I.N.G formula that unearths the issues and opportunities burrowed beneath the surface, and grow your business so you thrive from your intersection of your brilliance and your passion. Claim your copy today at www.thegroundhogbook.com. Welcome to the Brilliance plus Passion podcast. Join us as we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who reveal what they are doing to make the world a better place by being part of it. Be sure to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now sit back, lean in, tune in, get your notepad and 2 pens ready, and let's get started.
Hey everybody, my name is Adam Homey. I'm your host, and I am honored by your wise decision to tune in once again and invest in yourself by enjoying this latest episode of the Brilliance plus Passion project. We're at a point now, we've been on the air a little bit over a year. We've had over 100 amazing people on who make the world a better place by being part of it, share their stories about how that's the case. And we're now getting to a place where we're having what I'm calling returning contestants. About a year ago, we had an amazing conversation with Christoph Nauer, who is right with me right now. He is somebody who is quite an inspiration. He has an incredible personal story. So essentially what he does, I'll just tell you very briefly, is he is the founder of Balance 6 and specializes in helping business people acquire balance in their life between personal and professional so they can enjoy more days on the beach every single week without losing any momentum or cash flow inside their business. So about a week or two ago, we invited Christoph back. And what I want to do is, first of all, just give you a refresher of what it is that makes Christoph so interesting. And then he has a few things from the past year or so and some of his recent experiences that he wants to share with us for an update. So if you're watching this episode on www.brilliancepluspassion.com and you look down in the notes, you'll see there is a reference to Christoph's previous episode. You can go back and check that out, but we're going to focus on mostly the new here today. Christoph, welcome back. It's great to have you.
Thanks for having me back, Adam. Great to be here.
Absolutely. So, overall, if you could just, for those of our listeners who are new, because we've gotten a lot of new listeners, just tell us what it is that your company does in your own words and how this functions to help make the world a better place by being part of it.
Well, thank you. Yes, I do believe the way it transforms people's lives and businesses, because the two, in my opinion, cannot be separate.
Yeah.
They're one entity, and that's really why my business name is Balance 6, and we talked about that briefly last time, and the 6 that we need to balance is time and money, health, relationship, self-improvement, and spirituality, higher power. Okay?
Yeah.
And once a person or a business owner can actually balance those 6, then he or she is the top of the game. Then she becomes the person that she or he is meant to be. The best version of that person as a business owner, as a spouse, as a parent. And as such, to me, that transforms the entire business community, and anybody who is part of that and starts implementing some of these things that I'm talking about can experience that. And that's really my passion, and my goal is to make it change the way businesses are run around the world.
Excellent. So overall, and I know I asked you this last time, but I just want to bring it back to the fore here. What are some of the frequently asked questions that folks have when they are checking out what you do and considering working with you?
Well, there's a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this really going to work? Do you guarantee your work? And then I say yes, because if you do the work I recommend, you will see results. But you have to do the work.
Right.
Um, how do you help business owners? So we help business owners prioritize the focus. We help them develop systems and strategies so that they can get more done in less time. We help them to prioritize. Then, do you offer free consultation? Yes, absolutely. This gives you a chance to get to know me and how I operate, and me get the chance to see who you are. What we do during that free business breakthrough session is we create a crystal clear vision of their ultimate business and personal success that they want to have. We then uncover the challenges that they're currently facing. And regardless of what the end result, they will leave the session renewed and re energized and ready to tackle whatever has been in their way. So those are a couple of them. There are more, but you asked me for three, so I wanted to limit
Right.
it to that.
Exactly. So now this is the part where we're going to kind of transform this into an update. Over the past year, we've seen a lot of changes in how we go about our days, whether you want to look at society, whether you want to look at economics, whether you want to look at socioeconomics. It seems like it just feels like we're in a much different place than we were when you and I spoke several months ago. And in your view, how can one adapt to some of what's going on in the world and still be able to maintain that equilibrium, particularly when there are forces out there that want to keep them off their equilibrium?
Yes, I think that's a very good question, and we all have a choice to make. We can either crawl up in a corner and feel sorry for ourselves, and give up, or we can say, no, that's not me. Stand up and go go for it. You know, and it looks like you got a helper there.
Yeah, this would be per our professional support staff, Princess Alessandra Francesca. For those who watch this episode all the way to the end on our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see that she and her non-sister, Princess Stella, are listed in the credits. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm a cat lover, so whenever
Mhm.
I see a cat walking across the keyboard, which mine used to do too, then the
Yeah.
one that we have now doesn't do so much anymore. Um, but yes, we all have the choice to make. Let the stuff that hits us um, run off and get up again. You know, let's go back when we first started to learn how to ride a bike, right? We took the training wheels off, and I don't know how many times we fell, but we got up and kept going
Mhm.
and kept going. And that's kind of like the way I approach it with my clients. You know, get up and keep going. What we learn, we practice. What we practice, we become. So that's my motto. So we all can learn something new, and then once we start implementing that on a regular basis, eventually becomes second nature, and it goes on autopilot. But it does take what most people don't like the term. It's called self-discipline, but really it does boil down to that. I think to not give up and say, okay, that didn't work. Let's do something different.
That's tough for folks. And I believe that some of it has to do with the way we're programmed. Think about this phrase that many of us heard as children. You make a mistake or you do something without knowing any better because you're a damn kid. And what do the helpful adults in your life walk you? They say you're sorry, Christoph. And then you say, I'm sorry. And you say you'll never do it again. Can you really promise that even as an adult?
No.
Exactly. You can't promise it as an adult because A, you might not truly be sorry. That just might be somebody else's perception that you should be. And
Yes.
B, I like to bring that up as A. And B, even if it is an area of opportunity for development for you, we'll just say that euphemistically, something in your patterning may impel you to continue doing it.
Yes. No, you're absolutely right. And that's why I think it's so key that we seek help of others, whether that's an accountability partner, a mastermind group, or a coach. you know, we can't do it ourselves. And if we live in isolation and by ourselves and try to do it on our own, most of us will hit limits, or we may see more failures than those who look at the big pictures and connect with others that could help them. You know, so and that's critically important. There are people out there that can help us. That have expertise in areas that we don't have it. And once we start working together with them, things can change and things can happen.
Yeah. I love to study history. I'm not sure. Do you like history?
I like to kind of read it in a way so that's kind of like entertaining of sorts, but studying it and remembering and making all the dots connect, look like we had to in high school, that wasn't my cup of tea. But generally speaking, I enjoy just reading it that way.
I love to study the personalities. And so let's say, for example, we look at political leaders, absolute monarchs, dictators, people who their very thoughts become law. And you look at what they do. They implement these policies that you think, how could a human being of any type come up with that? They get these crazy ideas about who the traitors are in their organizations and among their populace. And some of the stuff they just come up with, you're thinking, how can any functioning living being conceive those ideas? But you see this theme over and over again. So I looked into it further. And what you have in every case is isolation. They get to such a level of absolute power generated through fear that nobody around them is able to give them information that they need in order to make what we would consider rational decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, what happens is the reality begins to change within them. My listeners have heard me say, and readers of my book, Groundhog Day is an Event, Not a Business Strategy, are familiar with the section in the book about how there's no such thing as the truth, that there are facts that we can scientifically, empirically, and otherwise prove, but truth is in the eyes of the beholder. So when you try to go it alone, I mean, completely alone, and I've seen folks try and do it, and hell, there was even a time when I decided I was going to be the true lone wolf because I was tired of getting advice. And I noticed even in myself, and again, I'm just speaking about human nature here, I started to get some interesting ideas that weren't grounded in factual reality. But what solves that is seeking help, becoming part of a network.
Yes, I couldn't agree more with you. Yes.
Yeah. So with that, I think about these 6 areas that you deal with in your practice, these 6 areas where you support folks. And I think what's really great about what you do, Christoph, is that you help people understand what these are. And in a moment, as we wrap up here in a couple minutes, I know that you have a special gift for our audience, and I'm going to share it on your behalf. But overall, let's say that you were working with somebody who their life was just completely unbalanced. And you could see it even in their appearance and their thought processes and their conversational patterns and how they live their life. You mentioned those 6 pillars, and 4 of them are missing, and one of them is dominant and the other one's submissive. And what would you say to them to begin to get them on the path of reestablishing their balance that best serves them?
Well, first of all, they would have to be open to even having a conversation with me. Like the saying goes, you can take a horse to water, you can't make him drink.
Yep.
So if they start a conversation with me, and like the business breakthrough session I mentioned, during that time, we'll start to uncover that. We're going to look at what it is that they would like to have, but what don't have it. And we look at the challenge that they're currently facing, the things that hold them back from having what they want. And then the question then is, okay, do you want to change this? Are you ready to change this? And if so, then we embark on a journey together. We usually work with clients for 6 months to start uncovering those things and look for ways to change that. A lot of it has to do with prioritizing and setting time aside for the things that truly matter. And if we don't do that, then nothing is going to change. So we have to block time for this or for that they need more of, and look at ways to eliminate some of the other stuff, the time wasters or the things that blow up our time, and try to eliminate that or minimize them from their daily occurrence. And one of the reasons, I don't know if I talked about it last time, but is so that I can reach more people. I wrote a book, and that book is now not only available as an ebook but also as a paperback on Amazon.
Yeah.
So it's called From No Time to Free Time: 6 Steps to Work-Life Balance for Business Owners.
Great, absolutely. And I would encourage all of our listeners to pick that up. I may go add it to my library as well. I love a good book. So as we wrap up here, what I want to do is I want to once again invite our listeners and our viewers to hang on one second here. Okay. I want to once again invite our listeners and our viewers to visit your website at balance6.biz. balance6.biz. And at that website, one of the things you're going to discover is a special gift that you have, folks. It's called the 5 Secrets for Putting Your Business Growth on Autopilot. This is a great pillar for you to begin to establish that 6. And again, the balance 6 for our listeners are time, money, health, relationships, self-improvement, and higher power. By putting some business growth on autopilot, you're working on all 6 of those, or clearing the path for you to work on all 6 of those, as the case may be, in various ways. So again, visit balance6.biz and find your special report and download that now. With that, Christoph, thank you so much for being with us today. It's been an honor, and believe me, an education.
Well, thanks again for having me. It's always a pleasure to talking with you, Adam.
Thank you for tuning into the Brilliance plus Passion podcast, where we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who are making a difference for their community, market, and audience. Remember to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Brilliance plus Passion podcast.